Chicago Bears are victorious once again as they beat the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Bears. But first, I'd like to wish you guys a very happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you guys have had a good Thanksgiving or are having a good one, whatever time you guys are watching this video. I'm here to hopefully make it a little bit more entertaining, if you will. So here to talk about, of course, the Bears' victory over the Detroit Lions as they won 24-20. So I'll talk about the entire game, the good, the bad, and everything else in between. And there is a lot to talk about. Before I get into all that, make sure to go ahead. If you're new to the channel, folks, subscribe by hitting the big red subscribe button down below. It helps me out a lot when you guys go ahead and support the channel, man. I'm really trying to hit 10K subs by the end of the year, so would love it if you guys hit that big red subscribe button and turn on my post notifications by clicking the bell icon. And also, while you're at it, follow me on my social media links down below and on the screen for my Twitter, my Instagram. I live tweet during the game. I post. You guys are going to want to follow me on there. You guys can ask me questions, debate, whatever it is. I'm here for you guys. With that being said, there's a lot to talk about. Let's not wait any longer. Let's get right into it. So I did predict the Bears to win this game, but my score prediction was 24-14. The Bears actually put up the exact amount of points, but the Lions put up a little bit more as it turned out to be 24-20. But scoreboard aside, which I'll take, it's all about the victory, right? And the Bears got the dub. They're now 6-6 on the year. And they are climbing up the rankings. Now, again, I don't want to get ahead of myself. We're not talking about playoffs. We're not talking about anything but this game for right now. And what I want to talk about is Mitchell David Trubisky, folks. Okay, because he had his best game of the season by far. I told you guys he would have his best game of the year against this Detroit team. From now onwards, until we see otherwise, I want you guys to know that Mitchell Trubisky is the Detroit Lions killer. Mitchell Trubisky always goes off against the Detroit Lions. His best game of the season last year was against the Detroit Lions. His best game of the season this year before this Lions game was against the Lions. So Mitch always snaps against Detroit. A lot of people were in my mentions talking about fives. Mitch is not going to do it. Hasn't even thrown for 300 touchdowns 300 yards all year. Yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, just watch. Mitch just goes off against Detroit, and that is exactly what he did, folks. Okay, 29 for 38, 338 yards. His first 300-yard game of this entire 300-yard passing game of the entire season. 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. So, you know what? I'm going to start with the bad, and then I'll talk about the good, because I really want to talk about the good real quick, okay? The bad, the 1 interception. Underthrown ball to Allen Robinson on a crossing route. He could have hit A-Rob. Darius Slay picked it off after he juggled it. That's on Mitch. He lobbed it up. He should have obviously thrown the ball with more velocity. It was definitely underthrown. That is on Mitch. That was a bad interception, okay? The other bad of the game, the running. I don't know if the Bears coaches, Matt Nagy and etc., have told Mitch Trubisky, you literally can't run, or Mitch Trubisky is scared to run, or if he's scared to get hit. Because his running in this game was just awful. I mean, when he got outside the pocket, if you guys remember that 3rd and 4, when Mitch ran out of the pocket while it was collapsing, he almost got sacked, he got out of it, and I'm like, oh, Mitch, pick up the first down, and then he runs laterally as if he didn't see the markers right there and he could have easily picked the first down. And the offense was moving. We ended up taking a field goal at that time, but I tweeted this. If Mitch got that first down, we would have scored. I guarantee we would have scored. The offense was moving. And Mitch does not go for the first down. And I believe Matt Nagy chewed him out about it because the sideline reporter Aaron Andrews was reporting that Matt Nagy was asking Mitch why he didn't run for it. So I'm sure Matt Nagy was pretty ticked off. But again, folks, I can't really pinpoint to one particular reason why Mitch's running has just completely disappeared this season. But it's bad because we need Mitch to run the football. He's at his best when he runs the football. It's one of his best abilities, okay? So definitely did not like that. He just looked scared whenever he ran the football in this game. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the good. Mitch Trubisky threw lasers in this game. Anthony Miller, 9 catches for 140 yards. Round of applause for Anthony Miller, one of his best games of the entire season. I think this was his best game of the season, actually. Not even one of. This was his best game of this season. A lot of best games for a lot of people. David Montgomery, 16 rushes for 75 yards. 2 catches for 12 yards and a touchdown. One of his better games of the season. Allen Robinson, you know him as being Mr. Consistent. 8 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown, though he did have a drop. So, but it's A-Rob. He's been phenomenal all year. We can let him get that, okay? So, back to Mitch. 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Folks, the throws he made to Anthony Miller, I think both one to the right sideline and one might have been to the left. I can't remember. They were both like huge 30-plus yard gains. One was a 35-yard gain. Those were some of the best throws of his career. Okay, so I just talked about the fact that Mitch isn't running, right? So if he's not running, he's sitting in the pocket and throwing. Folks, he threw some beautiful balls. Remember I talked about right here in the breadbasket, that's where he threw it. Anthony Miller, the first one was a phenomenal throw again, and Anthony Miller, all he had to do was just put his hands out, and it's right there. It's literally right there, gift wrap, ready for Anthony Miller to catch it. And then the other one, a little bit tougher. Anthony Miller made a great adjustment. He actually caught it with like his legs, if you will, because it fell into his torso and then it kind of rolled down, but he did have it. And then the throw in the end zone, I believe this was the second touchdown to Jesper Horsted. I mean, back foot floating. You got to lob it up, but you got to lob it up at the right angle for the safety and for the DB to not be able to get it. And Horsted gets it only where he can get it, like have it, and he comes down with it. And that was Mitchell Trubisky's best ball of the year. Best throw of the year by Mitch by far. So here's the thing, folks. Mitch was phenomenal in this game. If I had to give him a grade, I'd probably give him an A- because of the fact that the interception and the bad running. But other than that, I mean, 338 yards, sit in the pocket, throw. He was pretty elusive in the pocket as well. I'll have to give it up to the Bears' offensive line. The protection was pretty good in this game. Obviously, penalties, you never like that. But for the most part, Mitch sat in the pocket and delivered. He threw dimes, okay? And here's the thing, because I'll get to the defense, don't you worry. But this was a game where the defense was not helping you out. The offense had to carry them, and the offense did it, okay? The offense carried the Bears. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, look, it's the Detroit Lions. Their pass defense is awful. Mitch should be doing this. Here's the thing, folks, okay? When you are dealing with somebody like Mitchell Trubisky, who's a very polarizing quarterback, you take all the good you can. I mean, at this point, beggars can't be choosers with Mitch. We're literally deciding if he's the quarterback of our future. So I actually don't want to hear about, how the defense is. I just want Mitch to play well. Okay, I just want Mitch to play well because I want the Bears to be able to, win games. And we will win games if the quarterback plays well, barring that the defense, of course, plays well as well. The point being is, I know Detroit's defense isn't good. I hear it, okay? I don't need you guys to tell me that. My point is, we should just take all the positive we can get from Mitch because, like I said, we are deciding, and he is deciding for us with his play if he can be the quarterback of the future for the Chicago Bears. So to me, it doesn't really matter as much. I will just take the good. So like I said, phenomenal play by Mitchell Trubisky. Great game by Anthony Miller, his best game of the year. Allen Robinson was solid. Loved seeing that from David Montgomery. Matt Nagy, I'll give it up to his play calling, which was very good. The first drive was brilliant play calling. Had a couple of lapses here and there, but for the most part, I didn't see any egregious like third and shorts and we're throwing the football. For the most part, Matt Nagy's play calling was on point in this one, so I loved it, okay? So offensively, like I said, folks, this was the best game of the year for the offense. This was literally the best game of the year for the offense, not just because of the fact that the numbers support it, but also because the defense was not there for you. The defense was not there to bail you out, and so the offense had to carry the team, and they did so on the road, if you will, as well. So with that being said, let me real quickly switch it over and talk about the defense because there's a lot to talk about. So this Bears defense lets a Third string quarterback David Blau put up 20 points on this Bears defense, okay? I retweeted a picture of David Blau. He literally looks like the Lions accountant. Like, if you looked at him, you would think, oh, it's a picture of him in a suit, like a display picture. He literally looks like an accountant, okay? And you let him come out there and literally shred you to pieces. The first pass of the game, Kenny Golladay, 75-yard touchdown. Prince Amukamara gets burned on that. Unacceptable, okay? And then, not even just that, then you get another touchdown, Marvin Jones, just right across the middle. Just let him walk into the end zone. Like, please, just walk in here. Oh, you want to come to the end zone? Please come through. And I'm like, wait, I get it. The Bears defense has, for the most part, carried the offense all year long. But it wasn't even like we were putting up any resistance. I was like, okay, fine, you can be bad, but like, you're just literally giving up plays at this point. So Kenny Golladay tore us apart. I mean, the secondary was hot garbage, okay? Prince Amukamara had an awful game. Oh my goodness. Just soft coverages, just letting Kenny Golladay run all over him. It was just bad, folks. And this Bears defense was awful. This was the worst game of the year for them. At the end, they were able to get some, stats with a sack, a big sack at the end, and then an interception. But that was pretty much, at the very tail end of the game. For the most part, through quarters 1 through 3, it was a no-show for the defense. And so here's the thing, okay? My theory on it is they didn't take David Blau seriously. They thought, hey, it's a third-string quarterback playing in his first ever NFL game. He's not going to do anything. We can do whatever we want, and he won't beat us. And you know what? He stepped up and challenged the Bears, and he was able to, obviously move the chain. So I'm going to give props to the Detroit Lions and David Blau, because honestly, folks, that was a pretty impressive performance by them, okay? Albeit being in a loss, you're on your third-string quarterback, and you still managed to put up 20 points on this defense. I will give it up to them. The Bears defense should be ashamed of their performance today. But with that being said, they've carried us a lot of games. So fine, I will say that the offense will take the blow for this game, okay? The Bears defense just had a bad game. I mean, flat out. This defense has not been the same. I've told you this since the Oakland game in London. The Bears defense has been bad. I mean, they let a running back in Bo Scarborough, get as many yards as he wanted. Our run defense has been garbage. Our secondary, now it's being exposed. So the Bears defense is having problems all around. So it's like, even when the offense decides to play well, the Bears defense are like, oh, now the offense is playing well, now we got to play bad. So it's like, why can't we just have nice things? Like honestly, folks. So honestly, it was pretty disappointing to see. I was very disgusted by the Bears' defensive performance. But hey, we got the dub, so we'll take it. 6-6 now in the year. Again, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. We're not talking playoffs. We're not talking any of that. We'll just take it one game at a time. But overall, love the performance by the offense, particularly Mitchell Trubisky. Let me know what you guys thought of that game and Mitch's performance. Give him a grade for me. I give him an A-. What do you guys give Mitch in this game? Leave a comment down below if you guys agree or disagree with me. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. As always, have fun.